the dream is not going ahead living on the boat.
I don't know what next looks like. Does it look like we're gonna stay on the boat? Are we gonna sail around the world on the boat?
Well, Will checked himself into a program. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are we gonna get to New Zealand and say we're done with the boat?
For a long time, I had no idea that my head was in a bad place.
Are we gonna decide tomorrow, oh, you know what, let's go ride camels across all of Africa?
I don't know where my future lies.
There's so much I still wanna do.
Will and I have been together for a long time. We met in 1996, became a couple in 1997, moved in together in 1998, and tied the knot in 2000. In our 26 years of togetherness, we have been lucky enough to have brought into this world two incredible humans who have been our daring travel companions for the last 9 years. But as incredible as this story sounds, things are not always perfect. We are a work in progress, and life is always testing our limits physically and emotionally. We have left the San Blas Islands and made the 80 nautical mile journey to Shelter Bay Marina. But the adventure this time is a lot more than doing a repair on Friendship. Join us as we take time to do the repair on the most important piece of equipment, ourselves. Thank you so much to our patrons whose support make these episodes possible. The next 2 weeks, it's just Largo, Sentry, and I on the boat. Will had to take off for about 14 days. This is the first time we've been alone on the boat for this long. I'm not really worried. I mean, we're in a marina. It just means kind of balancing my regular work stuff and then boat stuff that Will usually does. And I don't see any major complications, but we do have a lot going on because we are preparing to cross the Panama Canal. And not that a lot needs to be done for the Panama Canal, but certain things have to happen. Like we have to come measure a boat. We had to get a special horn to cross through. And we have to make sure we have enough fenders and kind of logistic stuff. But I still think that it's not going to be totally easy without Will because there's a lot of things on this boat that he does that I have absolutely no clue how to do. I think it's going to be fun. How do you think we're going to do, guys? So Will has taken off for a while from the boat to take care of some non-boat items. This involved taking a plane from where we are in Shelter Bay to make a quick stopover in France to soak up a little me time, and then it was off to London for the real purpose of his boat holiday. This is not a boat holiday that he particularly wanted to take, but instead needed to take. But for that, he can give you the rundown.
You see, what I'm here for is because of something that's been affecting me and the family and basically anyone who I get in contact with for the longest time.
I find it really hard to make decisions. I know we make decisions all the time. We change our way of traveling all the time. But certain decisions are even harder to make, even for us. But I have to appreciate what I have. That's what I'm here for.
All right, Largo, open up your Valentine's Day gifts.
We've got marshmallows, all mine. More marshmallows, all mine.
American marshmallows.
Oh my god, fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, I'm going very American on you.
Red velvet cake.
You're gonna have to make it yourself.
Frosting. Candy corn, this is...
I found the American section in the International Grocery Store.
No kidding.
You like it? What else do we have in there? Pink cookie thing.
We already tried this.
I know, they weren't very good.
They weren't good. We've got Lucky Charms, wow.
With hearts in there, Valentine's Day.
Oh,
There's a theme.
What's this?
Pop-Tarts.
Never had a Pop-Tart.
Oh. Anything else in there?
More fruit roll-ups.
You have to share those with me. So what happened, you guys, the other day when we were underway is that we had a huge bottle of soy sauce, and normally we're pretty good about putting stuff away and securing it, but we just missed this big bottle of soy sauce, and it flopped over, and we were outside, and we didn't notice. It was the middle of the night. We didn't notice till the morning. So you can imagine the soy sauce was kind of flip top. It wasn't a screw-on. Opened up, and it rolled all over this part of the boat for several hours, and it still smells like soy sauce here. So listen, make sure everything is secured down. We still make these mistakes. Before we left for the San Blas, I didn't provision too much for them because I wanted to make sure we ate everything out of our lockers. We still have stuff in here that I bought in Europe, back in France and Spain and Portugal and the Canary Islands that we hadn't eaten. And it's fine, it's in cans, but some of the cans are getting a little rusty, and I thought, let's just clean it out and start anew. And we did a great job. I want to actually clean out these lockers all again. And I'm just going to, there's kind of no method to the madness right now. I'm just going to kind of toss it in. But when I do get ready to provision for our crossing to the South Pacific, I'll have, usually what I have is like, I have a Mexican
a whole Mexican locker, a whole Italian locker, a whole international food locker, then a snack locker, then kind of a crackers and chips locker, and then like a soy milk and other drinkable things. So I'm not going to take the labels off. I have heard so many mixed reviews on the labels. Of course, we haven't gotten bugs yet, and watch me not take the labels off and we'll get bugs. But considering this is all going to be eaten in the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to toss it in so we can see it nice and easy and then move from there. We do typically cook everything from scratch, but I bought a ton of canned stuff to get us through the next couple weeks because we have a lot of projects to focus on, and I need mealtime to be like down and dirty, quick and easy. So this is gonna be my crackers, rice cakes for like avocado toast if we have anyone over for snacks. Cheerios, we typically don't eat cereal, but Largo loves Honey Nut Cheerios, so I saw them in the American section at the grocery store and I'm like, I have to get these. Tortillas, we eat so many tortillas. And I'm gonna throw cookies and crackers in this bin as well.
So while I finished cleaning up the bilge lockers, Will was making his way to where he was to spend the next week. To be honest, spending a week in the English countryside after several months of being in the Caribbean sounds really good right now.
So where I'm at is a place called Boar Place. It is a working dairy farm, which is also turned into quasi conference center / resort. I'm here for a specific reason. I am going to be part of what's called the Hoffman Institute, which is it's a dedicated session, a dedicated program to help you uncover those things that are underneath those cracks that sort of surface that shouldn't even been there in the first place. Going back to your childhood, going back to the way that you were raised, going back to those things that you were taught to be complicit on or sort of mimic other people on. You sort of adopt other people's ways of living. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to sort of uncover, I guess, who the real me is. I know the real me is awesome, and I love who I am, and sort of the self-love is there, but there's a lot of brokenness inside of me. So I'm here for the next 6-7 days to go ahead and discover who that person really is. And when I come back, I still want to travel. We'll see. When you live a life traveling full time, things go wrong a lot, and I sometimes crack under pressure. I don't show it that often. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. And those people who I love the most, meaning my wife and kids, they see it, and I don't want them to see it because it's not who I am. So I'm hoping that sort of this week here is going to be amazing. I'm going to check in a couple times while I'm here with the camera and let you know how things are going. I'm not supposed to have a phone. I turned in my phone, but this is not a phone. This is just a camera. So there's no outside world connections going on here. In the meantime, check this out. I'm in an hour south of London in what is cow country. And it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of cold. I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't have like a real job. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, I live in a boat. Go figure. You know, there's gonna be a lot of changes going on like next couple days. At least self-discoveries. And this is what it is, self-care. If you don't get it early enough, it comes back to get you. And I'm looking to make sure that it doesn't get the best of me. So I'm trying my best now to just be, I don't know, get to know me better and know what really makes me tick. And these are the places where everyone stays at. There's rooms there, there's rooms there, there's rooms over there. And this is where I'm staying, the old stable. It's actually really cute. It is 100% like college dorm living. When I went to college, I never lived in a dorm. I lived in an apartment with Jessica. Long story, but yeah. And this is what it looks like. It's really cute.
Do we have the right adapter?
I don't know what I'm supposed to use. I've never done this before.
Well, I guess you just take them all and check it out and see which one fits the best.
Yep.
Just don't drop it in the water. How many do you think you're going to have to try before you get the right one?
I genuinely don't know. Oh, wait.
You think you got it on the first try?
Usually when we get to a marina, we all work together to get ourselves situated. But when we landed in Shelter Bay, Will had to leave right away to catch his flight, and we had to take care of his jobs. One of them being hooking up the water.
What this does, Largo, is it
Cleans it.
cleans the water. Okay, turn it on. Vroom, vroom. Doesn't come out too fast. All right, we've got water. I am so proud of Will for making his mental health a priority. Now, this did not happen overnight, guys. It took years and years for him to get to this point. But in our family, we've always prioritized our mental health over anything else. And Will and I have actually personally benefited from trusted therapists to help us through some of the things that we're working on up here. Because if up here isn't doing so well, the rest of it's not doing so well. And you guys know this lifestyle is crazy. So we do need professionals to help us through some of those bumps along the way. And that's why I'm super excited to be partnering with BetterHelp as our sponsor for this vlog. BetterHelp is a platform which makes finding a therapist easier because it's remote, it's online, and all you have to do is answer a few questions and BetterHelp will partner you with a therapist within a couple of days. Just go to the link in the description below and get started today at betterhelp.com/worldtowning. Clicking the link helps this channel, but it also gets you 10% off your first month so that you can get started with a BetterHelp therapist and find the best you. And because finding a therapist is kind of like dating, if it doesn't fit at first, which is common in therapy, you'll be able to switch easily with no extra insurance fees, no in-network, out-of-network, and absolutely no stress. In our minds, seeking professional help is the biggest sign of strength, not just for those you love, but for the most important person in your life, yourself. That is why I am so proud of Will for taking time off the boat, which he loves so much, to focus on his mental health. It's one of the things that I love the most about him. If you are struggling, consider therapy with our sponsor, BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com/worldtowning and get 10% discount off your first month with a licensed professional specific to your needs. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for supporting our channel. So Largo and I are dying a slow, painful death in the boat because we're looking for one specific thing and to do a boat tour, to put something on, to show you guys our multiple different styles of cushion covers we have, and we cannot find them. We have torn the entire boat apart multiple times, and we have no idea where they are. I'm starting to think we threw them away or something. But what we did uncover is that we have 3 ukuleles, so I think we're gonna sell one of those. And we've uncovered a bunch of other stuff that we don't really need. While Will's gone, we're gonna downsize a bit. He's a bit, I wouldn't say he's a pack rat, but he doesn't like, I guess he's a pack rat because he doesn't like to get rid of stuff.
Having the right tool for the job.
Yeah, he likes having the right tool for the job. Exactly, Largo. But we gotta get rid of some stuff. There's just no space in here. So this is the disaster that is today in here. Even the cat's like, what the hell's going on? I do have an Excel spreadsheet where I put where everything is, but I've been really bad in like the last year of updating it when we move things. This is a perfect lesson to know, to remind me to update that. You are not going to believe this. After we spent an hour tearing this place apart trying to find them, you're never going to guess where I just found them.
Where we should have looked.
Yes, is that bagel good? I found them underneath Avalon's floorboards in her cabin. I was just trying to put her cabin back together and I thought, I wonder what's under here. Oh, look at that. Bingo. Oh my God. So Largo and I have officially had our workout for the day, and we've also simplified because we've got a ton of stuff we're selling now that we don't need. So I'm pretty happy about that.
We spent an hour and a half.
Oh boy, wait till Will sees this.
And this is my room. I spent my first night alone last night in here, without the family. I'm gonna miss them. All right, so with that, I'm turning off the camera. Till then, be strong, guys. All right, and Jessica and Avalon and Largo, I miss you. All right, bye.
So Largo was out hanging out the laundry and he just found something on our anchor. What happened, Largo?
The anchor, it looks like, was left out. I'm not sure.
So the anchor should actually be pulled up further in its little seat. I don't know why it's hanging down. That's not typical how we do it. So the predicament is that the bolt apparently broke and is falling out.
Yeah, the bolt holding the anchor fell out, it looks like, or maybe broke, I'm not sure. And now we have to hold the anchor with a line.
And if you can see over here, the bolt is right here, is coming out. It doesn't even go all the way through here. But I just went over there to the marine store and they don't have a shackle big enough, but we have quite a collection of shackles. So I'm gonna check through and see if I can find one that actually will work to fit
that space. There's a reason you keep all this stuff as a sailor, because you never know when you're going to need it and when a place won't have it. So it looks like this is going to be too big for the space, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I came up with a solution. We're armed and ready to go.
What's the solution?
We'll see. Here's my thought, Largo. Down there, I like your idea of bringing it up so that it's secure up here.
Yeah.
So down there, I think we should loop it around the anchor down there. And then that loopy part right there. See the loop right there?
That one?
Yeah, loop it around that and pull it up here to tie it up just while we pull it up so in the event it falls, it doesn't fall in the water.
Okay.
Largo looped it around and I thought he was falling in, so I grabbed him. And apparently I was tickling when I grabbed him and he almost slid in. Okay, now it's locked into place. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
It won't fall now, right?
No.
All right, Dad can deal with this. He can get it back. All right, I am going to tie this on like this just in case. Can you, when you... Well, Will, I've gone 24 hours without talking to you, and I don't think that I've ever gone 24 hours without talking to you, at least in the last 8 years of travel. And in the 25 years we've been together, maybe if you were on an airplane and there was a major time change, maybe we went like 36 hours, possibly 48, but to not be able to talk to you, have an email, have any communication for 7 days feels so weird, and I'm only 24 hours in. I know you're working on some really hard stuff right now. Yeah, I know. I really wish I could be there at the end of the day to give you a high five and hear how it's going, but I also feel like through the course of everything that you've gone through and coming to terms with it and doing the therapy and all this stuff in the last 5 years, that I realized that my role and my attitude to like fix things and get things done and solve problems and save people hasn't helped you any, because I think this is something you really need to do all by yourself, and it feels so weird to have you doing this by yourself. So weird, but I know you can do it. I'm sitting here thinking about you a lot throughout the day. I started sending you text messages, so when you do turn your phone on, they give it back to you in a week, you're gonna have reports. I'm not going to send you anything about the shit show that's going on here with life because I can tell you that on the phone. I know you can do this. You've done so many hard things in your life. There's so many people that don't survive what you've been through, which you're an awesome partner, you're a great dad. Like, in my book, you're already a survivor, but I know you have this lack of peace within you, and that breaks my heart. And so what I'm really hoping doesn't come out of this is that you decide you want to be a dairy farmer and move to England, because it's cold and rainy there. And although I like cheese, I don't want to be a dairy farmer. I have done a poor job of vlogging. Largo and I have been working like crazy, and I've been really trying to focus on getting things done here, so when you come back, we're not completely stressed. I've done a lot of thinking while you've been gone, when I've been out on my walks, which has been really great, because one of the things when you live a life like we do is that there's not a lot of idle time to just think and process things in life. There's always stuff to be done on the boat. There's always plans for our next destination, whatever goes along with that, visas, repairs to the boat, hauling out, that kind of stuff. There's parenting, there's schooling with Largo, there's, you know, saying hi and chatting with Avalon in her life, there's our business, there's the cat. So I don't really get a lot of time to just sit and process and think about things. We've spent so much time, Will and I, thinking about and planning for how we want our life, or wanted our life to look with our children. What kind of culture we wanted within our family, how we wanted to educate them, and what kind of dynamic and teamwork. But we haven't had a lot of time to just sit and process individually. We talk about things, but we don't sit and process individually. And we've only got 3 years, like 3 years and 4 months left with Largo before he launches. And I've been thinking a lot about
what's the next stage, because often when you're going into the next stage, you can't just say, like with the boat, we didn't just wake up one day and say, let's buy a boat. Like, we talked about buying a boat for a decade, and we always knew it was further down the line, like the end game. I don't think it's very healthy to just make a decision and say, okay, let's do this now. And so I think that Will and I need to be thinking and planning and talking about what's going to happen in 3 years. When you live a life that's different than others, it's not mainstream, that there's no kind of rule book for almost a decade that we've been traveling full time, our why has always been the kids. And then the umbrella underneath that is because we want to strengthen our family bond, we want to invest in making memories over buying stuff, and we want to educate them about the world, in the world, with the world's people. And that's that. Any big decisions we have to make, we say, will this allow us to still continue our why? And so now, we have to start thinking about what is the why going to be when they're gone. When we started out, I didn't really know if we would continue after the kids were gone. I didn't even really know if we would continue past a year. Our plan was always, if the kids aren't enjoying this, then we're gonna change. And since they never disliked it, we never came at that crossroads, and we just kept going. I can now say that we're on our 9th year of this full-time travel life, and I could do this forever if my body allows me to, if we have the finances to. And so what does that look like? I don't know what next looks like. Does it look like we're going to stay on the boat? Are we going to sail around the world on the boat? Are we going to get to New Zealand and say we're done with the boat? Are we going to decide tomorrow, oh, you know what, let's go ride camels across all of Africa? There's so much I still want to do.
So we're in the Kent region of England, and it is February. It's a little cold, but it's 100% spectacular. Nothing but this incredible countryside. There's a big steeple over there. I am now finishing my, I don't know if I want to call it a program, a session. I guess you can call it a program, because, you know, why does a program have to have like a negative connotation where, well, Will checked himself into a program. Oh, I'm sorry. It was called the Hoffman process, and it is to help you get your shit together. Yeah, it feels liberating. It's one of those things where I felt like for a long time I had no idea that my head was in a bad place. I knew that there was things missing in my life. I just didn't know what it is, and I think I kind of figured it out. Woke up this morning going, I really feel good for the first time in a long time. And what hit me is that for the last 8+ years that we've been traveling full time, getting close to 9, we've always been looking for the next big rush, looking for the next big thing that makes us happy. And there's been a lot of it, and there's been a lot of happiness. But what I figured out was that it's always been not enough. And the reason why it's been not enough is because I've always felt that whatever I was doing was not enough to sort of make me happy. And it wasn't enough to go ahead and make me feel like I had what I needed. And that is like this awful monster inside of me saying, you're never gonna be good enough. You're never gonna be good enough to be happy inside. And therefore you must suffer and continue to push yourself until that time comes where you just blow up inside. And as much as I didn't blow up inside, and that's not the reason why I came here, but I realized, or let's put it this way, it was brought to my attention that it was manifesting in other ways, and I was repressing all these thoughts of me being not good enough, and not that I was deserving of being happy. And it's crazy, because when you bottle up everything inside, it comes out like in really, really strange ways, and you wind up taking it out on everything, including yourself, especially yourself, and those who you love. And when you get to that point, you're almost on the verge of losing everything. And as much as I didn't lose everything, it came really close. I don't know where my future lies or where the next step in my life goes. But I know that at this point, the only way that's going to be better for me and for this life is if I choose to just be happy with what I have inside. It's funny because I was thinking, you've got the dream life. You're living on a boat, you're traveling, you're with your family, you still have a great wife who loves you and cares about you. You have kids who are awesome, which I do, and I'm 100% appreciative of it. You know, you seem to be like the last person to be here. It's always that last person that is there that always has the deepest, darkest demons inside. And, you know, I'm not gonna say my demons are so profound that I need to check myself in, but you know what? It's good to do it. And what I realized is that my issue is that I never really felt like I was enough. I never really felt like I was good enough for me. I was never taught that I needed to be the most important person in my own life. I always gave to everyone. And I loved it because it made me feel valid inside. Me giving to other people and putting a smile on other people's face was the ultimate sense of validation. But it was external. It wasn't because of me. And I need to work on that. I didn't walk away from this going, I'm healed. But I'm aware so big time that I have these issues of needing to be validated. I got that from generations, and you know what? I'm gonna work on it really, really, really hard. I feel like at this point I have the awareness and I have the tools now to go ahead and keep myself in check and trying to get what the dream actually is. And the dream is not going ahead living on a boat. The dream is not traveling the world. The dream is not being with your family. For me, a lot of those are part of the dream, but they're consequences of the real dream. And the real dream is, dude, it's right here. It's taking care of you first. It's being happy. It is, for lack of a better cliche, it's self-freaking love, man. If you can't take care of what's inside of you, there's no use of taking care of what's outside, because what's inside is gonna fester and rot. And so that's been my week. My week has been about me, about learning what's really most important inside. It's the freaking Dolly Parton song, the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me, you know? And I haven't really cultivated it yet, but I know that's what it is. And I know that I'm gonna spend a lifetime working on that. And what does that mean for me and life? It just means that maybe some changes are necessary. I don't know what that is. But I'm ready to go ahead and take that bold step and make sure that I do it for the right reasons. All right. That's my journey. That's my path. That's my challenge. And I thank you guys for being part of that challenge, because now that I record it, I know that it's real and it lives. When you don't record it, when you don't document it, when you don't put it down, it can go in and out, it's fleeting. But now you're part of my journey.
So how do you think we did?
I'd say it was a very low bar to meet. The boat's still here, so we're good.
Right, it's not like we had to sail. We didn't deal with anything with the solar, the water maker, the batteries, any of the systems really, because we're plugged into shore power. But I think we did okay, right?
Yeah, the boat's not sinking, so.
Right.
So this is our journey. I would love to continue the illusion that everything is awesome at every moment, but we're not unicorns who live a charmed life. The reality is that with the hard work that we have, we can and do struggle, some days a little more than others. Here's the thing, exploring around the world sounds like therapy in itself, but the one thing that we have discovered while traveling for almost a decade is that full-time travel does not help you escape from your problems. Life doesn't become magically easier just because we decide to sell it all and take off on an epic adventure. Instead, it's challenging at every level. It takes a strong support group to share the work, embrace in the incredible accomplishments, and to have each other's back when things get rough. For me, that's Jessica, Avalon, and Largo. They've helped me realize that I have so much to give, not to them and the world, but to myself, and that is something I can never forget.
How you doing?